Sons of the Forest. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the devil. Sent to find a missing billionaire on a remote island, you find yourself in a cannibal-infested hellscape. Craft, build and struggle to survive, alone or with friends, in this terrifying new open-world survival horror simulator. Yes guys, the Sons of the Forest, the sequel to The Forest, is here. This is one of the biggest indie games ever made. This actually, I think, kind of crashed Steam when it launched. There was that many people trying to download it. It was just nuts. I couldn't play for a couple of hours. In fact, it's about 3 hours or so before I got in to the game. I'm currently playing it in single player, co-op, and with 5 other people. So I'm trying it in all of its kind of aspects. That's why this review's taken a long time. I've got about 18 hours in it now over the 3 games, but I'm switching between games just to see how it is. And I have one thing to say. Bugs. It's early access, so obviously it's got buggy, but it's very buggy, hilariously buggy. But first up, let's have a look at the graphics. There's a few things you can twiddle and tweak to get the best out of this game on your hardware. I find that it runs pretty well on my 2080 i9. Cass, who's in 2 of the games with us, she's got a 1070, and it's not running as great, but it's still very, very playable. There are some crashes now and then, very rare. I've had one. I think she's had a couple, and there's a few frame drops that are not very nice, but you don't get a lot of them. I'm not getting, well, I'm getting a couple now and then, but not really that many. But I have read that some people are struggling to run this game at any decent frame rate, so bear that in mind if you're going to buy. I should point out as well that as you watch this video, you might see a little bit of a fisheye effect as I'm turning. That's because I've whacked the FOV up to 90. It has a FOV slider, this game, as all games should when they're first person, so there's that. Now the game starts off with you in a helicopter that crashes, and there's a few different places you can crash on the map. It's a big open world map. It's not big, it's not that big actually. I thought it would be a lot bigger than this, but it's still a fair size, but you can yump across from one side to the other in a couple of days, so it isn't too bad. It has seasonal weather as well, so you go through the seasons, and it has a day and night cycle. Obviously, if it goes through the seasons, it has that. And the graphics look fantastic. Honestly, this is one of the most beautiful indie games I've played. In fact, apart from Valheim, I think this is probably the most gorgeous looking game ever. But it's just not quite that immersive feel graphically that Valheim gives you when the mist's coming in. But it's still a beautiful, beautiful game. Now you are crashed, like I said, on this helicopter, and you got to find this billionaire. Like I said in the word, he's missing. There's various clues you find around the island. There's secret bunkers where you find key cards to go in there, and there's quite a few different things to craft. They've overhauled the crafting system from the forest. I never really liked the forest that much. We only have about 4 or 5 hours in it. It wasn't really, I just didn't like it that much. I like this a lot more, but I don't like the bugs in this. There's just a lot of bugs. But essentially with the story, we haven't even been following it. We aren't that bothered. It's a survival game. We don't care about the story. I don't care. You know, the guy lost. Shouldn't have gone out walking in the forest, should you, mate? I mean, ultimately we will finish the story, but at the minute we're just building a base and just enjoying survival in this really, really nice world. So let's start with my gripes with the game, the bugs, the big bugs. The NPCs. You get 2 NPCs that we've come across 2 NPCs that are our friends. They follow us around. There's a 3-legged woman with nipples. She just on three arms as well, and she brings you dead squirrels to eat, and then gives you the thumbs up. Yeah, eat the squirrel. You can't arm her. We give her a pistol, which she didn't use once and just got killed all the time, so we took it back off her. Then you have Kevin. He's another NPC who, he is just your slave. Kevin, make us a camp. Kevin, chop down some trees. Kevin, collect some logs. Kevin, get this. Kevin, do that. He's just a slave, essentially. So that's what we use him for. And they both love fire. Kevin especially loves to just sit in fire and roast his testicles and then show off while he's doing it. He absolutely adores doing that. He has this testicle roasting fetish. She likes to walk through the fire often as well. Kevin even likes to build fire on top of tents. He loves fire, does Kev. We asked him to build a tent, and he says, I'll tell you what, I'll put a fire on the top of it and roast me nuts in the fire. I'll roast me nuts in the fire on top of the tent. How's that? You can get a really good look at my roasted nuts there. That's Kevin for you. I mean, it's hard to cook on the fire when someone's standing in it. It's it's just, I'm serious. Honestly, the bugs. It's clunky as well. It's very, very clunky game, this. Just lining yourself up to save your game on your bed is a nightmare. Sometimes just trying to pick things up is a nightmare. It's clunky. The combat's clunky as well. And this is another bug that I think. There's 2 of us playing co-op on normal difficulty, and we are getting attacked all the time of 5, usually 5+ enemies. We have a game on normal difficulty with 5 other people, and we've hardly even seen any enemies up to the same kind of point in the game. So there's something kind of wrong with the way that it deals with the amount of people in there. Surely we should be attacked by more enemies if there's 5 of us, not less than if there's only 2 of us. It's just, yeah. The building is extremely clunky. You can build pre-selected things out of a book. There's like a book that you can open and it'll say, oh, build this. Now the shelter that's in the book is about the size of a fucking B&Q garden shed. Absolutely useless. If you want to build a shelter, you're going to have to just build it bespoke without using the book. So to do that, welcome to Clunk. Welcome to Unintuitive Building 101, because that's what this is. It takes a while to get used to the bugs in it and the clunk of trying to do it. You can't really build what you have in your head because it just won't let you. It's just annoying. The building needs a lot of work doing to it. It's not the best. The crafting, however, is good. You put down this like mat, open it up, your like carrying place, and you've got all the stuff that you've got that you've looted. There's loads of it, absolutely. And we've looted shit tons. We've been all over the island, looting stuff out of camps. And when you want to craft something, you just like throw your duct tape in the middle and it'll show you what you can craft with the duct tape. It'll say add a couple of stakes, bit of that, bit of this, bit of that, bit of this. You can craft weapons, you can craft armor. Well, you can craft, when I say weapons, I'm on about bows, spears, clubs, basic stuff like that. You can craft all types of armor. You can get food sorted out as well in here. There's loads and loads of stuff that you can put together. Bombs, time bombs, you name it, all of that kind of stuff. As you get more and more loot, you can craft more and more things. Stands to reason. You get loot in the caves, and also there is an exploit. Now, I'm worried that this exploit is part of the game. When you first spawn, there's loot crates around you that, you know, the debris from the helicopter crash. You loot all that, and then you head off on your journey. Now, the next time you log in, they're all still there. You can re-loot them. Now, we built our camp not that far away from the crash site simply because of bug number 6450, which is wildlife. We couldn't find wildlife very far outside of the spawn place. The spawn place we have is full of fish, and there's deer, squirrels, rabbits running everywhere. We have an unlimited supply of food, and because the island isn't really massive, we thought this is a great place to set up our base camp. Now, as we've explored out and we've gone, you know, we've been all over the island now, you hardly see any deer anywhere, or squirrels or rabbits, so you have to take a decent amount of food with you. There are stags and stuff around there, but they're very difficult to find. And the worst thing is the fish. There's rivers all over the place, not a single fucking fish in them. There's lakes, some of them have no fish in whatsoever. I don't understand what the hell's wrong with this. It's just, it's bugs. Another bug that's damn annoying, to be honest, is the balance of the audio of the ambience effects, such as water, wind. It's just too loud. Way too loud, so I thought I'd throw that one in as well. But overall, like I said, the game is fun. It's great as a survival game. I'm nowhere near finished it because, you know, it's a survival game. You have to throw like 60-70 hours at these things, and we are playing it not to do the story. We are playing it just to be immersed and to survive in the forest, fighting the cannibal tribes that will come and eat you, then the nasty monsters that's in the caves. It is immersive, it is fun, but it's clunky and very buggy. It needs a lot more time in the oven, this game. It's nowhere near finished. The developer says he's going to finish it in 6 to 8 months. Good luck with that. He's going to have to work at it to do that, but maybe he is. Maybe his vision of the finished version is a bit different to mine, but it needs a ton more work in my book. But I'm still thumbing it up because I've had a great time in it, and I'll continue to play it. So there you go, guys. Sons of the Forest, even though it's in early access, buggy, glitchy, clunky, it's still worth a buy.